Good day, it's James again. We spoke briefly in my first video about how we get started on this channel. We went over my multi-tool, which is, again, it's something I've had on my hip for near on a decade now. I always carry one when I'm working. It's just a handy little tool, but I thought I'd run through the other tools I keep in my pockets, which some people find ridiculous, but again, I'm a mobile mechanic. I'm not near my toolbox all the time, and sometimes I just need to very quickly, I mean, for example, swap a battery over or something like that, and it's just handy to have some tools in your pockets. So one thing that even a lot of other mechanics ridicule me for are my pocket spanners. I do keep a couple of spanners in the pockets. I'm sure they do these same spanners in a couple of other brands, but the ones I keep in my pockets are Blue Point spanners. Fairly straightforward. The main sizes that any mechanic is going to be used to having, so that is an 8mm and a 10mm on a sort of non-reversible, straightforward little ratchet. My favourite spanner. I've been through a couple of these as well over the years. These are exceptionally useful. Like I said, 8 and 10mm, you can do more than you would believe with just this little spanner. Like I say, you need to swap a battery over, you know, very quickly, get access to an engine bay if you've got all the plastics in the way. Normally this will do what you need. I do have the same in a 13-15, same reasons for that. It's 13mm and 15mm. 13 is exceptionally useful to have in your pocket, same sort of reasons. And then finally, this one's probably a little excessive, but I keep it in there anyway, the 16-18. It's quite short, so you're not going to be doing anything serious with it, but it's just handy to have to hand. You know, again, I'm outside, I'm on the driveway, I'm underneath a car, and I suddenly need a 16 and I can't be asked to roll out from under the car to go and grab one. It's in my pocket. It's very useful. Other things I have in my pockets on the other side, I have, when I can unzip it here, shows you how professional I am with my YouTubing. I have mole grips. I've got two different sets. I got the needle nose and the snub nose. Again, exceptionally useful bits of kit. You've got a stuck bolt, you've got something you need to grab hold of and get a firm grip on. If you're watching this and you know anything about tools, you know what mole grips are. Essentially, they're a locking plier, pretty straightforward, adjustable on the back to whatever size you need. Again, really handy bits of kit to have, especially to hand sometimes, again, when you're stuck under a car or you're in the middle of something. I don't need to be running back and forth to the van. I like to park my van as close as I can to the jobs. It's not always possible for one reason or another, so having a couple of things in your pockets will make all the difference and make your day go a lot easier. Like I said, it's the same for the needle nose pliers. Again, these are snap-on. I'll be honest, I've used all sorts of different mole grips over the years. These snap-on ones have really proven themselves to me. The teeth are exceptionally hard. You know, this pair especially gets really abused, and you can see still good profile on the teeth, despite the abuse they've had over the years. They've got a little dip right in the middle. Don't know if you can see that, where it's been kind of worn away, but honestly, cheaper brands of mole grips, I was stripping them out on a regular basis. These I've had for over a year now, and they've served me very well. What else? What else have we got in my pocket? I've got a random little screwdriver that, in all fairness, I just left in there. And then the old trusty snap-on mini pry bar. Really handy little bit of kit. Plastic trim clips, you can quickly pop that under and pop the clip off. It doubles up as a flat head for undoing hose clips. That's a must-have for the pockets. I think that's just about it. What else have we got in here? Oh, it's another 13-15. My pockets are almost empty, I promise. What's that there? Oh, a pen. There you go. This particular one is a switchable between red and blue. Obvious. Fairly obvious thing to have on your person. I think that's just about it for my pockets. Like I said, you'd be surprised how much work you can get done just with those tools in your pockets. The sharp-eyed of you may have noticed this little ratchet sitting next to me in the van. Now this stays up front with me mostly because it cost me a fortune. and I like to keep it warm and dry with me at the front of the van here. This is a rather large Snap-on digital torque wrench. Now, anyone who knows about Snap-on knows that anything with the name on it costs a fortune. This cost me a particular fortune, and it has a very particular use. It only comes out for calibrated torque jobs. This thing's calibrated. It does Newton meters, foot pounds, anything you need it to do, and it also does degrees. So a lot of cylinder heads nowadays, when you tighten them up, you'll tighten them up to only 30 Newton meters or so, and then you will turn the ratchet so many degrees, let's say 180 degrees. 180 is nice and easy, obviously it's just one way and then the other way. However, sometimes they're a little bit more fine than that. Sometimes it's 30 degrees and then 90 degrees, and you need something to be able to measure that. And they do analog versions, but the accuracy of a digital calibrated torque wrench can't really be beat, and that's the reason why this one stays up front here with me. It's not for any other reason other than it cost me an absolute fortune, and I like to have it warm and dry up front with me. I do have the full set of these. I've got two other ones, smaller. I've got the 3/8 and the quarter drive for fine torque work. They have a nice foam place in the back of the van, but this one stays up front with me, just for sentimental reasons more than anything else, because it cost me so much money. That's about it for tools on my immediate person. Everything else lives in the back of the van, really. We might get into those shortly. Unfortunately, it's raining today, so I won't be going in and getting any tools out today, but we can discuss that another day. Anything else you'd like to see, let me know in the comments below. Thank you.